Hi, how is everyone today?
Great.
Good.
Great.
Thank you for coming. Micheline Maynard writes in Immigrants and the Economy that a coalition of nearly 600 colleges and universities sent a letter to Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly saying that the country could maintain its global scientific and leadership position only if it encouraged talented people to come to the United States. I did research on the worker visa program and immigration into the workforce and was pleasantly surprised and impressed with the data showing the positive impact that immigrants have on our economy. The United States workforce is a constantly changing organism with people immigrating and leaving it every single day. Most of you in this audience probably have somebody that you work with that was born in another country. Worker visas and immigration relates directly to most jobs, industries, and professions in our country. Some people oppose worker immigration because they claim that the influx of immigrant employees takes jobs away from American-born citizens. Many businesses and industries refute this claim, as employees ranging from highly skilled technical professions to manual laborers are often only available from other countries. This inability to fully staff specific jobs and industries from our native population makes immigrant workers vital to our very survival. The addition of immigrant workers to our industries, our businesses, and our very culture helps sustain and boost our economy rather than harm it. Our current administration wishes to limit immigrations and work visas, which could have a profoundly negative impact on our community and economy. I want to talk about a few industries that rely heavily on immigrant workers and how they've benefited from the diversity and inclusion. To start with, we all love our smartphones, our laptops, our tablets, our techs. Well, the United States tech industries rely heavily on immigrant workers. One of the best ways for the United States to stay at the forefront of technological advancement is to attract the best and brightest workers from all over the world. Maynard quotes the Center for American Progress and writes that the country is missing an economic opportunity by creating an atmosphere that's hostile to newcomers. By rejecting employees simply because they were born in another country, companies risk losing valuable ideas, perspectives, thoughts. So it stands to reason that if we want to attract the best and the brightest to our industries to remain technologically competitive, we must be open to the idea that the best and brightest aren't just from the United States, but everywhere in the world. From high tech all the way down to manual labor, our entire workforce is dependent on immigrants. Immigrant workers are also vital to the survival of the farming and construction communities. Nearly 50% of our farm labor force is comprised of undocumented immigrants. The same is true for the construction industry. They say that immigrants there are helping to fill labor shortages and comprise almost 25% of the housing construction workforce. Both of these industries would be crippled if their immigrant workforce was removed. These workers provide manual labor that literally feeds our families and puts shelters over our heads. The collapse of either the farming or housing communities would be catastrophic and negatively impact the lives of every single American in this country, whether they were born here or not. Critics of immigration propose simply removing the immigrants and replacing them in their jobs with Americans, but that's not necessarily the best solution either. The removal of immigrants, both illegal and legal, would create a crippling workforce shortage, which would be more harmful to our economy in the long run than our current unemployment rate. Critics say that immigrants are taking jobs away from Americans. Those opposed to immigrants in the United States argue that visas allow American employers to pay salaries that Americans won't take and fill them with immigrants. Oftentimes, the truth is that Americans simply do not want these jobs or are not properly trained for them. Critics also say that increased immigration negatively affects wages, allowing employers to pay lower wages. Data, however, has shown a relationship between the percentage of immigrants in the workforce and wages for both college and non-college educated employers. This relationship is both positive and significant, which shows that periods that have seen increased inflows of immigrants have actually seen increase in wages. If the addition of immigrant workers into the workforce was truly decreasing the average wage, we would see a decrease in the wages that corresponded directly to the increase of immigrants, but the data does not show this. While it's often easy to point the blame for all of our workforce woes to immigrants, that blame is often misplaced. Critics state that the number of undocumented immigrants equal about 5% of the working population, so if we deported 3 million of them, that would bring our unemployment down to 0. However, the H-1B and H-2B visa programs are already currently strained to their limit, which suggests we need more legal immigrants, not less. Especially when you consider that the current unemployment rate in the United States is hovering at about 4.3%, the US birth rate is at an historic low, and the massive baby boomer generation is rapidly reaching retirement age. Rather than deporting the illegal immigrants, if the United States granted them legal citizenship, they show that nearly $1.5 trillion would be added by them to the gross domestic product over a decade. Immigrant workers, both legal and illegal, are a tremendously valuable resource to this country, not a burden. By attracting the best and brightest talents from all over the world, we all stand to prosper and benefit. The United States was founded by immigrants, and each unique culture that has come here has made this country stronger and more diverse by their inclusion. From the technology sector, which makes our beloved smartphones, to the farm and industry, which makes the food that we eat, all these immigrants have become an intrinsic part of our great American melting pot. I'd like to leave you with one more quote from Micheline Maynard. She said that immigration is the lifeblood of the technology sector, with immigrants bringing much innovation to the economy. Half of the technological companies in the United States worth $1 billion or more are run by chief executives with roots elsewhere. Thank you for your time. I encourage you to support diversity and inclusion in the workplace. We are truly only made stronger by the addition of perspectives, ideas, and peoples from all over the world. Thank you.